everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I would be creating this particular eye look with you guys. But the difference is that both of these eyes have different eyeshadow palettes on them. In today's video, I would be comparing the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsession palettes with its one of the most loved dupes by Nicka K beauty, and it is their Autumn Spice palette. I would be creating the particular eye look that I have right now using both of these palettes, having the Huda Beauty Topaz palette on my right eye and the Nicka K Autumn Spice palette on my left eye. But before going to the eye look, I would just be swatching both of these palettes quickly on my arm, and then we will go on to the eye look. So if you are interested in seeing how both of these eyeshadow palettes perform and how I created this eyeshadow look, then keep on watching. Okay, so I have already done my base makeup and now we would just straight go into the eyes. For priming my eyes, I would be using this MAC paint pot in the shade Soft Ochre. This is something that I use every time I do my eye makeup, and I would be applying this on both my eyes so that both of the palettes get equal chance. Now for my eye makeup, I would be using this Huda Beauty Topaz eyeshadow palette on my right eye and this Nicka K Autumn Spice palette on my left eye, and then we'll just see and compare how each of the shades in these palettes work. I'll just quickly show you how both of these palettes look like. So this is how both of these palettes look like. I won't say that these are exactly the same, but they do look pretty similar to each other. I have all my eye brushes right here with me. I would be using different brushes for both of my eyes, but they would be very similar or maybe the same brand and the same number, so that I can form my view on both of the palettes not based on the brushes or the application but on the actual color and pigmentation. Now starting with my right eye, I have this Sigma E25 brush, and from my Topaz Obsession palette, I would be using this center color to apply all over my lid to set the concealer that I have. Now this is a decently pigmented color, but it is nothing too much. For my left eye, I would be going with this PAC 033 brush, and from the Nicka K Autumn Spice palette, I would just dig in this center color and apply it to set my base. Okay, I can already see a lot of difference in both my eyes. This color is a lot white and powdery as compared to this color, which is very subtle peachy sort of a color. The middle colors actually do seem different, and they are very different on the eyes as well. You can easily and clearly see the difference in both my eyes. I hope that I will be able to get a similar eyeshadow look on both the eyes and not end up looking weird. Now for my crease, I would just take this orange color from the palette and apply it in my crease with the same brush. I would go with a very light hand and build the color as per my requirements. For my left eye, I would be taking the similar shade on my PAC 033 and would apply this as well in my crease. Now I am actually expecting this color to work a lot different than the previous one because of the base color that we already have on the eyes. Now I'm done with my crease color in both of my eyes, and you can already see the difference in both the eyes. I would say that I like the Huda Beauty side a little better than the Nicka K side, and that is mainly because of the base color that I have on my eyes. This particular one is too bright and too white, I would say. as compared to the one that I have on my right eye. The crease colors look almost similar on both the eyes, but because of the base color, the crease color on the left is actually popping a little bit more. For my outer V color, I would be taking this dark brown from the palette and applying it onto the outer corners of my eyes. Repeating the same on my left eye with the darkest shade from Nicka K eyeshadow palette. This color is definitely way more pigmented than the previous one. I honestly underestimated this color and I took a little bit more color on my brush, which might create a problem. I'll have to be very careful while applying this. It's really pigmented. Okay, so after doing the outer V's, this is how both of my eyes look right now. Now both of these colors look really similar to each other, not only in the palette but even on the eyes. The only difference I can say is the fact that the brown from the Huda Beauty palette is comparatively less pigmented as compared to the brown in the Nicka K eyeshadow palette. But once you build the colors, both of them looks pretty much the same. Now I'm not completely satisfied with how my crease is looking right now. So I would be taking this burnt orange color on my brush. I would be applying it in my crease but a little lower than where I applied the initial color, and would be blending this with the outer brown that I have. Doing the same on my left eye with this burnt orange from the Nicka K palette. The colors in the Nicka K palette are way more pigmented than the Huda Beauty palette, which is actually making them a little difficult for me to use. Okay, so I am done with my crease now, and this is how my eyes are looking right now. I honestly cannot see a lot of difference in my eyes apart from the base color, which is way lighter in the Nicka K palette as compared to the Huda Beauty palette. Now I would just do a little cut crease thing using my Maybelline concealer, and I would be right. Now after cutting my crease, my eyes are looking like this right now, and now both my eyelids are actually looking pretty similar to each other, and the main reason for that is again the fact that I have applied concealer on the base color, which was mainly making the difference in both my eyes. For cutting my crease, I have used my Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I am in the shade 25 medium, and I have used my PAC 341 flat brush to cut my crease. Now for the overall lid color, I would be going with this particular color from the Huda Beauty palette. I actually wanted to use this shimmery shade, but this one and the one that complements it in the Nicka K palette are pretty different from each other. So I would be using this particular shade, which is actually very similar to this color in the Nicka K palette, and this would give both the palettes a fair chance to make the eye look similar. So now taking this color on my MAC 239, I would just pat a lot of color on my brush and just tap it on my eyes. Okay, so the color is not very pigmented when used with the brush. So I would just go with my finger, swirl my finger in the color, and then apply the color all over my lids. I usually do not like to use my fingers for such cut crease looks because they do not give the exact precision I am looking for, but these kind of foil colors actually work well when applied with fingers, and that is the reason I am using a finger for this look. On my left eye, I would be using this color, and I would be taking it on the other finger and just apply it on my lids. Okay, this color is way more bronzy than the Huda Beauty one. Now once I'm done with applying both the colors, I would just take the blending brush and just blend the crease again to give it a final look. Now once I'm done with applying both the colors and blending both the colors, this is how my eyes are looking right now. Both the colors that I have on my lid are a little different from each other. Huda Beauty one being a little more golden than the Nicka K one, which is more on the bronzy side. I can actually see the difference in the mirror, but I am not too sure whether you will be able to see the difference in both the eyes right now. Now I'll just quickly complete my eye makeup off the camera and I would be right back. Okay, so now I am completely done with my makeup. I have done my liner, I applied black kohl, and I have also applied false lashes, and this is how my eyes are looking right now. Can you actually see a difference in both my eyes? I'll just zoom in the camera a little bit more so that you can see how my eyes are looking. So this is how they look zoomed up. On my right eye, I have Huda Beauty's Topaz Obsession palette, whereas on my left eye, I have the Nicka K Autumn Spice palette. Both of them look pretty similar to each other. Now let's talk about my experience in using both the palettes. I honestly loved using both the palettes, but let's just compare both of them point wise. Okay, so this is how both of them looks like. I am hiding the mirror in the Huda Beauty palette so that it doesn't blind you and you are able to see me a little better. Let's start with the price point. The Huda Beauty Topaz Obsession palette retails for 2500 rupees, whereas the Nicka K Autumn Spice palette has an MRP of 600 rupees, but it is usually on discount. I would say 90% of the time this palette is on discount and you can easily grab this for as low as 300 rupees. Whereas on the other hand, this Huda Beauty Topaz Obsession palette is almost never on discount, and you have to pay 2500 rupees to get this. If you're lucky enough, then maybe once a year you can get this on a discount of maybe 25%, but for now we can say that Huda Beauty palette retails for 2500 rupees, whereas the Nicka K palette retails for just 300 rupees. The color selection, you can see they are pretty similar to each other apart from the center color, which is way white and way lighter in the Nicka K palette. The Nicka K palette eyeshadows are a little on the powdery side, but pigmentation wise they are better than the Huda K palette. I honestly didn't like that too much because I like my eyeshadows to be moderately pigmented so that I can work on them as per my desire. Talking about the blendability of both the palettes, so I again found that the colors in the Huda Beauty palette are a little easier to blend as compared to the Nicka K palette, but that do not mean that Nicka K palette do not blend nicely. All you have to do maybe a couple of more strokes to make them blend better, and that can be a reason because of the pigmentation. The pigmentation of the colors in this palette is a lot, and it does require a little bit of time to blend that pigmentation into the other colors. Now, not all the colors in these both palettes are exactly the same, but the price point is a lot to consider. Another thing that is different in both the palettes is what I'm hiding right now. The Huda Beauty palette does have a full-size mirror, whereas there is no mirror in the Nicka K palette. Now I'll just talk about my final thoughts on this palette. I created a very similar looking eye looks on both my eyes using both of these different palettes, and honestly I cannot see a lot of difference in both the eye looks apart from the fact that the Huda Beauty one is a little more on the golden side, whereas the Nicka K one is a little more bronzy. The colors in the Nicka K one do pop a little more than the Huda Beauty one, but I still somehow like the eye look on the Huda Beauty one a little bit more than the Nicka K one, and the reason for that is that the Nicka K one is a very bright and very festive kind of an eye look, whereas on my right the Huda Beauty one is a little more on the subtle side. So this is something that anyone can use irrespective of their age. I can imagine my mother having this eye look in a wedding, but this one can be a little bit on the extreme side for her. So there is no major quality difference in both the palettes, and that is actually the reason that this Nicka K one is actually called the dupe of this Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. Now, which one of these you need in your life? If you don't have any eyeshadow palette and you would like to buy one eyeshadow palette, then any of them can be a very good option for you, because both of these are neutral eyeshadow palettes and a lot of looks can be created using these eyeshadow palettes. But now, which one to buy? If you have the budget and you want your eye looks to be more on the classier side and not as bright and bold, then I would suggest this Huda Beauty palette. But if you are on a budget, and like most of us, you do not like to invest 2500 rupees on just one eyeshadow palette, then Nicka K palette is an extremely affordable, brilliant option for you guys. Like, you cannot ask for anything more for 300 rupees from this palette. The pigmentation, the color quality, everything about this palette is amazing. Plus, for the price of 2500 rupees, you can actually buy a lot of these palettes, or maybe you can actually create a full makeup kit in 2500 rupees. So yes, that were my final thoughts about the comparison of Huda Beauty Topaz Obsession palette and Nicka K Autumn Spice palette. Do let me know what you think about the difference in the eye looks in the comment section down below. I hope you liked today's video. If you liked today's video, then do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and please do consider subscribing to my channel. Also, if you are interested in seeing any other certain kind of videos on my channel, then do let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching my video. Namaste.